Good day everyone, I'm Sharina Mirarugol and today I am going to discuss the topic of deconstructing the idea of the world hierarchy. When we say deconstructing the idea of the world hierarchy, it is a system in which people or things are put at various levels or ranks according to their importance. Hierarchy is in the social sciences. It is a ranking of position of authority, often associated with a chain of command and control. And what is hierarchy in society? To begin, hierarchy refers to a ranking of members in social group based on the power, influence, or dominance they exhibit, whereby some members are superior or subordinate to others. It is said that hierarchy is a system rank categories from top to bottom. Now, ano po ang halimbawa ng isang hierarkiya? For example, in a typical family system, mayroong parents, which is the most authority, followed by the children, then followed by the pets. Nagkakaroon po ng pagkakasunod-sunod from the superior to subordinate. And now let's discuss kung ano nga ba ang kinalaman ng hierarkiya sa pagkakaroon ng pagkakahati-hati ng mundo mula sa first, second, and third world country. It is said that the Cold War is the reason kung bakit or nagkaroon ng pagkahati-hati sa mundo. And now let's discuss kung ano nga ba ang Cold War. Cold War era was developed on March 12, 1947 to December 26, 1991. When we say Cold War, it is a tension between the two nations at the end of World War II, which is the United States and the Soviet Union. Which United States is under the capitalism and democratic country, while Soviet Union is under the communism and dictatorship country. When we say Cold War, ito ay ang tensyon kung saan ang dating former Allied country na US at Soviet Union ay nagkaroon ng dirian sa kanilang pagitan. Sa madaling salita, the Cold War was originated from the ideological differences of these countries. And ang tanong ngayon is, bakit nga ba nagkaroon ng Cold War? Sinasabi dito na as World War II transformed both the United States and the USSR, turning point the nation into formidable world powers, competition between the two increased. Sinasabi na noon ngang patapos na ang World War II ay nagkaroon ng pagtatalo ang dalawang bansa na dati ay magkaanib, kung saan ang USSR ay ninanais na magkaroon ng komunismo sa kanilang bansa na naglalayong magkaroon ng pagkakapantay-pantay na taliwas sa pamamahala ng US. Dahil nga sa para silang mayayamang bansa, nagkaroon sila ng kani-kanilang paraan ng pamumuno. Sa madaling salita, the Cold War was originated from the ideological differences of these countries. Sa madaling sabi, Cold War is a battle for power, where US wanted to maintain and the USSR naman is sought to obtain it. At noon ngang 1947, itinatag ang Truman Doctrine kung saan ayon dito, magbibigay ang US ng suportang pinansyal, politikal at militar sa mga bansang may kinakaharap na banta ng komunismo na dulot ng USSR. Ito ay inisunod sa polisiyang containment na naglalayong limitahan ang impluwensya ng USSR at ang paglaganap ng komunismo. Dito ay kung saan natakot ang US na bumagsak ang iba't ibang bansa sa komunismo dahil maaari daw na magsunod-sunod ang ibang bansa at tinawag itong domino theory. But there is Joseph Stalin ng USSR at pinagbawal niya na tanggapin ang tulong mula sa US at nagtatag ng tinatawag na Comecon at nais nitong pag-isahin ang ekonomiya na magkaroon ng malayang kalakalan upang matugunan ang kakulangan sa produkto ng kanilang bansa. At dahil nga sa alitan ng dalawang bansang ito ay naitayo ang Berlin Wall o ang Iron Curtain noong 1961 noong August sa udyok ng USSR at may haba ito na 155 kilometers at layunin ay upang hadlangan ang refugee mula sa East Germany na tumungo sa West. Ang Berlin Wall o ang pader na ito ang nagsilbing pagitan ng demokrasya at komunismo. At ang tanong ngayon ay sino nga ba sa dalawang bansa ang naging mitya ng pagkakaroon ng Cold War? Sinasabi na ang parehas na bansa na United States and Soviet Union are both contributed to the rise of the Cold War, kung saan they were the ideological nation states with incompatible and mutually inclusive ideologies. kung saan ang founding purpose ng Soviet Union was global domination o mas nais nito na mangibabaw ang komunismo, and it actively fought the destruction of the United States kaya nagkaroon ng hidwaan sa kanilang dalawa. As what we said kanina, that the Cold War was originated from the ideological differences kung saan the communist nations and industrialized capitalist nations competed in both technological and political superiority. Both nationalistic tones appeared, creating differences leading to the brink of war without a combat. Pinaniniwalaan na ang Cold War ay labanan kung saan hindi gumamit ng sandata ang dalawang bansa. Sa halip, ito ay itinuring na labanan ng pamamahala. Komunismo ba o kapitalismo? As I said kanina na ang Cold War is ideological conflict between two nations, ngayon ano nga ba ang ideology? Ideology based on or relating to a system of ideas, especially concerning economic or political theory and policy. Ideology is directly related to the social structure, economic system of production, and political structure. When we say ideology, ito po ay normative kung saan ito ay nagsasabi lamang kung paano gumana o dapat umiral ang isang lipunan. Hindi nito directly nilalarawan kung ano nga ba ang nagaganap sa isang lipunan. And as I said, ideology is a normative. It is a set of only collective held ideas about society, usually promoted in order to justify a certain type of political actions. Dahil nga sinabing collective idea, which means it considered the perspective or opinion of others, or the set of opinions or beliefs of group or individual. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng hidwaan sa dalawang bansang ito dahil sa kanilang sariling ideolohiya. And now, let's discuss the different kinds of ideologies such as political ideology, social ideology, epistemological ideology, and ethical ideology. First one is the political ideology. When we say political ideology, it's a certain set of ethical ideals, principles, doctrines, myths, or symbols of a social movement, institution, class, or large group that explain how society should work and offer some political and cultural blueprint for a certain social order. In political ideologies, it includes the liberalism, conservatism, socialism, and other political ideologies and post-ideological politics. When we say liberalism, it favors individual freedom but acknowledges the need for some form of government intervention in the economy. The second one is the conservatism. It advocates for the prevention of society and tradition and opposes radical changes. Ang konserbatismo ay isang pilosopiyang estetika, pangkultura, panlipunan at pampolitika na naglalayong itaguyod at mapanatili ang nakasanayang mga institusyong panlipunan ng isang bansa. At hindi rin nito pinapayagan na magkaroon ng pagbabago sa isang kultura. The third one is socialism. It favors a political and economic system in which the ways of production, distribution, and exchange are owned by the community collectively. And last one is the libertarianism. It advocates for minimal government intervention in the lives of citizens. And now let's discuss the second types of ideology, which is social ideology. And now, ano nga ba ang social ideology? When we say social ideology within the field of sociology, ideology is broadly understood to refer the sum total of a person's values, beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. Pag sinabi nating sociology, it includes the studying of relationship between culture and society, examining the social movements or searching how communication affects the human behavior. There are 5 examples of sociological ideologies. It includes the racism, sexism, heterosexism, ableism, and last is the ethnocentrism. First one, let's discuss the racism. It is the belief that groups of humans possess different behavioral traits corresponding to inherited attributes and can be divided based on the superiority of one race over another. When we say racism, ito ay isang pagtatangi. Usually, nangyayari siya sa atin sa panahon natin ngayon, kung saan maaari itong isagawa sa pamamagitan ng panlalait sa isang tao dahil lang sa kulay ng kanyang balat, paniniwala, at pamumuhay. And now, let's discuss the second type of social ideology, which is the sexism. It can be a belief that one sex is superior to or more valuable than another sex. Sexism imposes limits on what men and boys can and should do and what women and girls can do and should do. Kapag sinabi natin sexism, ito ay isang uri ng diskriminasyon sa isang tao o grupo ng mga tao batay lamang sa kanilang sexual na oryentasyon o sexual na pag-uugali. Isang halimbawa sa diskriminasyon ng sexism ay ang pagmamaliit ng mga kalalakihan sa kung paano ang paraan ng isang babae sa loob ng isang trabaho na kung saan ang iniisip nila ay lalaki lamang ang kayang gumawa nito. And now, let's discuss the heterosexism. Heterosexism is a system of attitudes, bias, and discrimination in favor of female, male sexuality, and relationships. And now, let's move to ableism. The types of social ideology mean that it is a discrimination of and social prejudice against people with disabilities based on the belief that typically abilities are superior. At its heart, ableism is rooted in the assumption that disabled people require fixing and defines people by their disability. There are two types of ableism, which is the physical ableism and the sanism or mental ableism. When we say physical ableism, it is a hate or discrimination based on physical disability. Ito ay kung saan ang isang tao ay nilalait dahil sa kanyang physical na disabilidad. Habang ang cynicism or mental ableism naman is discrimination based on mental health conditions and cognitive disabilities. The last type of social ideology is ethnocentrism. It is the evaluation of other cultures according to their preconceptions originating in the standards and custom of one's own culture. Ethnocentrism, ito ay kung saan ay kinukumpara ang kultura o nakagawian ng isang bansa sa kabila. Isang halimbawa nito ay dito sa Pilipinas kung saan ang mga mamamayan ay mas pinipili na bumili ng mga imported na gamit kaysa ng sarili ng produkto dahil sa paniniwalang mas maganda ang kalidad nito. And now, let's proceed to the next reporter kung saan i-discuss niya ang pagkakaroon ng first, second, and third world country o nagpabubuklod-buklod dahil sa ideolohiya ng mundo na nagsimula noong Cold War. And once again, everyone, I'm Sharina Mirarugal reporting about the construction of idea of hierarchy and the ideological conflicts that lead to the distribution of the first, second, and third world country.